Hey, everybody. This is Chill10974 coming to you live from the Chill Zone studios here. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of something I haven't done in a while, chilling on the couch. But I got something to talk about, and I'm going to do something I normally don't do for my channel because I always try to make sure I stay out of the way of being political on my streams and everything else because it's so divisive and such a problem that because of the tensions and everything else and the party divisions and all this other stuff. But considering what happened in the last 24 hours, I wanted to come out and I wanted to talk. Unless you've been living under a rock, yesterday evening, former President Donald Trump was shot while at a political rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. One other person is dead. Two others were severely wounded. The shooter, who has been identified, and his name will not be added on this stream, was killed. I will start to say this just so people will know, in full disclosure, I am not a Donald Trump fan. I never have been. This is before he came into politics. Pretty easy to see. This is something I don't do. I don't like him. I don't like his politics. I don't like his rhetoric. I don't like his policies, anything of that nature. But I do not condone, nor will I ever condone, the type of political violence that just occurred yesterday. And I will say, I hope that he recovers. I hope that the persons that were injured, I hope they recover. And I send all my love to the family of the gentleman that was killed yesterday. The shooter, he is psychotic. I think it's disgusting. It's a deplorable act. It's something that never should have happened, and it has no place in our country. President Biden has come out and has condoned it. Has condemned it. My apologies. Has condemned it, and he also had an address from the Oval Office a little while ago. This is a disgusting display of things where politics have taken a turn to a place where it's very violent. And it's the rhetoric is too heated. It's too back and forth. And it's to the point where people are getting angry. Now, there's nothing wrong with a vigorous debate. There's nothing wrong with policy debate. There's nothing wrong with being with being enthusiastic for your party or your candidate. There's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes we need a little more of that in some cases, but in a positive way. We have been in a perpetual cycle of violent rhetoric, or pseudo-violent rhetoric, I should probably say, for the last 3 presidential cycles. It's not right. And I am going to call out everybody in this because I find this disgusting. First off, I'll even say it in some cases from people in my own, that the party that I happen to support. Sometimes there are some people who take their shit a little too far and they need to zip it. But at the same time, there are the same types of people on the other side that are doing the same exact thing. And then some. I'm not going to get into blow by blow stuff and tit for tat. I don't care. It's absolutely not worth the time. But the thing that I wanted to get across today is that the garbage that I'm talking about, the type of rhetoric, the type of dangerous talk that happens to come out and cause these problems is already started after this event. It already started on media, on the online media. I'm sorry, the social media, where people are already starting to say that this was a sanctioned hit by the current president of the United States. And now, several hours ago, continuation of that theme, where at least 4 Republican congresspersons have said the same thing, or they have implied the same thing. And that's including Marjorie Taylor Greene and J.D. Vance. What the fuck? Is this what you need to do to try to ensure that we stay in such a state where you want to induce more violence? Knock it off. And I tell my friends who may be supporters of my channel, knock it off. Have a debate. But you know what? Leave the stupid shit out of it. We don't need it anymore. Because violence begets violence, and we're going to hit the point where there's going to be there's going to be something retaliatory, and God forbid that someone else has to get killed or hurt to satiate this stupid lust for political power. And I say to those persons who may watch this show or support my channel or know me, if you feel that way and you're going to push the narrative that the current sitting president of the United States wanted to kill the former president of the United States, let me explain something. Any president would not use an amateur to go take care of a job that a professional would do. Are you kidding? Not to mention the fact he never did. He didn't sanction that. My God. I can't even believe we're hitting the point where we're talking about this. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of one of those rants. What I am asking you to do, I am not asking you to change where you sit politically. I'm not asking you to do anything other than be civil and understand that words have consequences, and words do have consequences. We are seeing it time and time and time again. This is not what this country is about. It makes me sick when I think about it. Look, all I ask is that we tone this down and be civil. And that means both sides. And by the way, I'm also going to call out the Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson, and he deserves this. What he decided to go out and say Sunday morning on the Today Show, where he said, started with one side, that we need to tone it down, where I agree, and that the Democrats who caused the problem are doing it. No, this problem is being caused all around. And yes, you are just as culpable as anyone you're trying to blame. It's sad that we're even here. It is a sad day for us, where we almost saw another attempt. We saw another attempt, and yes, it is an assassination attempt. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. This is an attempted assassination of a political figure, regardless, whoever it is. It doesn't really matter. Okay, this is the first time in over 40 plus years that an assassination attempt has occurred on a former or sitting president of the United States, or candidate for president of the United States. And now the last one was Ronald Reagan. And before that, we saw 2 attempts on Gerald R. Ford. We also saw the successful assassination of Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy. We are at a point now where we need to stop and take a look at history, because history can tell us exactly where this is going. All we have to do is go back to the run-up to the United States Civil War in 1860, where everything hinged, where the political rhetoric for a decade was so heated between the North and the South. There was a power-based struggle between the two. It was a fundamentalist difference between party and section. Even the parties themselves were split in a lot of different ways. We saw a Supreme Court at that time that handed down probably, if not the worst, one of the worst decisions in the history of jurisprudence in this country, in the Dred Scott decision. Until this court decided to say, hold my beer. And we've just watched the dismantling of the guardrails for executive power, and the ability for a sitting president to actually be liable or culpable for illegal acts that they cause while they're in office. And we're not even going to get into the fact that now it even makes it that much more difficult for, if a president is doing something that is extra constitutional or something that's above what their power is, allows them to do, what their job description allows them to do. It makes it even harder now to even remove them from office via the impeachment process, because you're not going to be able to collect evidence against a sitting president because it will be protected under this immunity clause, or sorry, the immunity ruling. But we've hit that point where it's very tough to recognize what's going on in this country. But I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm just gonna say, listen, everybody, take a deep breath. Look at what's going on around you. Put your politics aside and just look at this for what this is. It's an act by a person that obviously has something wrong with them. This is not a coup. This is not a political plot. This is not a just evil Democrat thing. Oh, we're gonna go out and we're gonna kill Donald Trump because, well, he's gonna win. He's just too awesome. No, that's not it. This was a deranged lunatic who decided to take a pop shot at a political figure. And the worst part of it is, I think he did that. What he did is he did more damage to the American political system than he could possibly know. Not because, not because he was trying to kill a political figure. It was because of what this is going to cause in the political sphere, for the type of garbage that's going to get spewed out and then in the coming days, hours, days, and weeks. So what I'm just asking you, my friends, is to stop, look around, understand what you're seeing and what you're hearing, and dismiss the garbage. Let's look at this from the point of view of being American. This is not a tit for tat or this or that. What this is, it's just it's an irreprehensible act that this needs to be denounced by everybody. Let law enforcement do their job. Let's get a definitive idea of what really happened and then move on. This is not something to make political hay with. This is not bullshit that we have to sit there and blame the other side for it. You know what? Let's not. Let's actually act like adults and actually look at this from a logical point of view. With that being said, I just hope that everybody is safe. I hope everybody stays that way. And I'm hoping this is going to be the one and only time that I've ever decided to do anything political on my channel. I'm not trying to do this to be a Democrat. I'm not doing this to be a Republican. I'm doing this because I'm an American that's sick and tired of watching my system fall apart because of morons on all sides that just can't stop lying and stirring up the shit pot to the point where people are getting to where people are actually causing violent reaction. We're not going to get into this other stuff. I'm not going to get into the Jan 6. I'm not going to get into, to the ultra-right, Nazi garbage in Charlottesville. It isn't, there's just too much going on, man. But everyone, please be safe. If you haven't had a chance, hug a loved one, because you never know when things are going to go sideways for you. So always do the right thing. And listen, remember, we're all Americans here. Let's start acting like it. Okay. I love all you guys. You know that. And I'm always I'm always one that would love to have a nice debate on policy and stuff like that. We can always do that, privately or whatever. But with that being said, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. God bless you all. Okay. And all I can say right now is peace.